Welcome back everyone to the HS First Year Biology classes. Myself Sukanya Roy and I'm back once again with the online classes on Cell, the unit of life. So today we are going to have our 8th lecture on this chapter. So let's start. So in this lecture also we are going to study about a few remaining um, cells, structures and organelles, and at the very first slide we will discuss about a very important system present within the cell which is termed as endomembrane system. So do you people have any idea regarding what is this? Okay, let's just have a look. See, what is an endomembrane system? It is nothing but a group of membranes and organelles in eukaryotic cells that works together to modify, package, and like transport the different types of biomolecules like lipids and proteins. Okay, so this system basically is nothing but it means that it includes a group of cell organelles and membranes within our cell, okay, and all of them together functions in order to modify, pack, and sort out and finally transport the different biomolecules like lipids and proteins out of the cell. Clear? So this system basically consists of different cell structures and organelles including the nuclear membrane, the endoplasmic reticulum, the Golgi, the vesicles or vacuoles, and the lysosomes. So here is a diagram. You can see that here is a diagram which represents the entire endomembrane system, and you can see here that it includes the nuclear envelope, that is the nuclear membrane, okay, then the endoplasmic reticulum, which in turn is divided into two parts, that is smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum, right? Then the different types of transport vesicles, okay, then vacuoles, already we have studied about all of this, right? Then the Golgi apparatus. So all of this together forms a combined structure or system termed as endomembrane system. And what is the main function? The main function of the system is to modify or pack and ultimately transport the different types of important biomolecules like proteins or lipids out of the cell. Am I clear to all of you? Okay, so this is an important topic, and this topic is often asked in your board exams. Okay, what is endomembrane system? What is the main function of this? And like this. Okay, so you can do one thing. You can write an answer for this, explaining the major function and structure of endomembrane system, and you can show it to me. Clear? Next, we are going to study about a very important cell organelle termed as plastids. So, the plastids are generally found in the green plants and also the algae. Okay, they are absent in case of the animal cells, and they are a double membrane bound organelle which are primarily responsible for preparing food and storing it in case of the plant cells. Okay, so these are nothing but the uh, basic structures present within the cell which have two membranes, that is which are bound by two membranes, and so they are termed as a double membrane structure, and they are generally found in case of green plants and some of the algae, but they are absent in case of the animal cells. Clear? And their main function is to synthesize and store the food in the plants. Clear? So the types of plastids, like different types of plastids are actually found. Out of this, the plastids are mainly divided into three main types. The first one is chloroplast, then chromoplast, and ultimately the leucoplast. So let us just have a look at what are all this. So as you can see here, chloroplasts are actually green pigment, okay, or the green colored organelles, like the plastids which are generally green in color or the green pigments are termed as the chloroplast. Clear? The main function is that they help to produce their own food of the plants by the process of photosynthesis with the help of a green pigment termed as chlorophyll. That is, the type of plastids which have a green pigment termed as chlorophyll and help in the process of photosynthesis to prepare their own food by the green plants is termed as chloroplast. Am I clear? The second one you can see is the chromoplast. So it is a type of plastid which contains several red, orange and yellow pigments termed as carotenoids. Okay, so these are some of the pigments found in the plants, and this are generally means the due to this pigments actually the different colors are seen in case of the fruits and flowers. Okay, so this carotenoids, which are generally red, orange or yellow in color, they actually imparts the yellow or orangish or reddish color of the different fruits and flowers, and also these colors are essential for attracting the different animals for the process of pollination and also the dispersal of the seeds of the different plants. Clear? So in this the chromoplasts play a very important role. The next type of plastids are leucoplasts, which are also found in the plants. So these are, you can see from the diagram itself, they don't have any pigment or color, that is they are colorless. Clear? And their main function is to store the starch. Okay, that is the prepared food is stored in the form of starch generally in the plants, and this is stored with the help of this type of plastids termed as leucoplasts. So you can see that the plastids are generally divided into three types. Already we have studied chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. Chloroplasts are the type of plastids which contains a green pigment termed as chlorophyll and some type of carotenoids. Okay, while chromoplasts are those plastids which basically contains the yellow or orange or red pigments termed as carotenoids or xanthophylls. Clear? And the leucoplasts are those plastids which are lacking in any type of pigment, that is they are colorless plastids. Clear? Once again, the leucoplasts can again be divided or subdivided into three more types. The first one is amyloplasts, the second one is proteinoplasts, and the third one is elaioplasts. Now, we have already discussed about the main function of leucoplasts. So what are leucoplasts? These are those type of plastids which are colorless and their main function is storage of starch or storage of the food materials, right? So when we say the leucoplasts are subdivided into three main types, then we understand that these types are also like adopted for actually storage of different types of food materials, right? So here the three different types, amyloplasts, proteinoplasts and elaioplasts are. Amyloplasts are those type of leucoplasts which store and synthesize starch. Clear? Next, in case of the type of leucoplasts which mainly stores the proteins, okay, and they generally are found in the seeds, are termed as the proteinoplasts, while the type of leucoplasts which help to store fats and oils, that is the lipids, are termed as elaioplasts. Okay, so these are the three subdivisions of the leucoplasts. Next, we will study about the most important type of plastids, that is chloroplast, which is the most abundant in the plants, okay, and whose main function is to synthesize food or glucose by the process of photosynthesis. Now let's have a look what is chloroplast. So you can see here the chloroplasts are generally those cell organelles which are generally bioconvex in shape and they're semi-porous, that is they allow some of the substances to pass through them but not all the substances. Clear? And they are generally double membrane structures, so they are mainly found in the mesophyll tissue of the plant cell. Okay, and chloroplast contains a green pigment, already we have discussed about it. Chloroplast contains a green pigment termed as chlorophyll, which helps to trap the sunlight or the solar energy, which in turn helps to prepare the own food by the plants through the process of photosynthesis. That means the main type of plastids is the chloroplast, which is the most abundant type of plastids found in the plants, and their main function is to synthesize glucose by the process of photosynthesis, a process which is performed by the green plants due to the presence of a pigment termed as chlorophyll. Okay, that means chloroplast contains a green pigment termed as chlorophyll, with the help of which it helps in the process of photosynthesis. So am I clear to all of you? Okay, so let's just have a look at the structure of chloroplast. So you can see here one diagram is given, okay, and here are some points. So what we will do is we will try to follow the diagram, and in accordance with that we will try to just uh, discuss the different points given here so that it becomes easier for you to understand the basic structure or the anatomy of chloroplast. Okay, so let's begin. They are the oval shaped organelles. Okay, they are generally oval in shape, having a diameter of 2 to 10 micrometer and a thickness of about 1 to 2 micrometer. Clear? Then the major components which are there in the structure, or which constitute the structure of chloroplast, are given below. The first one is envelope. Okay, that is the coverings of the chloroplast. So the chloroplast envelope is double membraned in structure. We have already seen this, right? So you can see here two membranes are there. This one is a membrane, is the outer membrane, and this one is the inner membrane, right? So there are two membranes present which surrounds the chloroplast. Clear, everyone? Okay. Now you can see that there is a space, okay, between the outer membrane and inner membrane. So this space is basically termed as the intermembrane space. Have you seen? So this is all about the envelope. That is the covering of the chloroplast is a double membrane structure, that is which consists of outer membrane, you can see this one, and the inner membrane, this one. Okay, and the space between these two is termed as the intermembrane space. Clear? Next you can see term which is called as stroma. So what is stroma? It is the aqueous matrix or the ground matrix, okay, which is present inside the chloroplast. That is the ground substance, this one, the liquid substance which is present inside the chloroplast, okay, which holds the different uh, structures inside the chloroplast, is termed as the stroma. You can see it is marked here, stroma, this one, the liquid, okay, the aqueous fluid which is found inside the chloroplast. Clear? Next, the stroma actually contains the different types of structures, okay, and which are actually present in case of the chloroplast. Okay, so it forms a medium in which the different types of solute substances are dissolved in the within the chloroplast. Okay, also it is like rich in proteins, different types of enzymes essential for the vital cellular activities. Okay, also one more thing, the chloroplast has its own DNA. Clear? So the chloroplast DNA is also present in the stroma, along with the ribosomes, which in turn help to synthesize the proteins within the chloroplast itself. Clear, everyone? So what is stroma? It is the ground or the liquid aqueous matrix which is present inside the chloroplast, and the stroma contains the different structures, or it holds the different structures like the chloroplast DNA, the ribosomes, the different types of solute substances, then several proteins, enzymes, and all these things are present within the stroma. Clear? Let's continue with the structure of chloroplast. So the next term which we will come across is thylakoid. So what is thylakoid? It is nothing but a specialized structure. Okay, it is a membrane bound structure present within the chloroplast, that is in the stroma. Now you can see that this coin like or disc shaped structure is termed as the thylakoid. Clear? So here you can see several thylakoids are present. So each one is termed as a thylakoid. Now a thylakoid can be divided into two parts. Okay, it is the thylakoid membrane which just surrounds the thylakoid, and this one, the internal portion of the thylakoid, is termed as the thylakoid lumen. Clear? So thylakoid membrane, that is the outer boundary which surrounds the thylakoid, this membrane is termed as the thylakoid membrane, and this portion, internal portion, is termed as the thylakoid lumen. Clear? Now, what is the significance or the main importance of thylakoid? The thylakoids are those specialized structures inside of which the light reactions of the photosynthesis actually occurs. So when you will study the process of photosynthesis in your chapter, okay, of photosynthesis, there you will study that the entire process of photosynthesis is very complex one, and it is divided into two basic steps, or two steps of reactions. The first one is uh, light dependent reactions, and then the light independent reactions, okay, or the dark reactions. So the light reactions of the photosynthesis actually occurs within the thylakoids. Clear? Okay. Now the next term is grana. What is grana? This stacks, you can see this stacks, all of these stacks are termed as grana. That is, all, several thylakoids are stacked one above other to form a complete stack of different disc shaped structures. So each of these stacks are termed as the grana. Okay, so the singular form of grana is grana. That is, if you consider only one, then it is termed as grana. If you consider more than one, then together they will be termed as grana. Clear? So some of the thylakoids are arranged in the form of discs stacked one above the other. So these stacks are termed as grana. So each of these are termed as grana. Clear, everyone? Okay. The next you can see is photosystem. So what is this? It's nothing but some complex protein structures, or some protein complexes which are present inside the thylakoids. Clear? And what is their function? They actually contains different types of pigments or protein complexes, which in turn helps in the light dependent reactions of photosynthesis. That is, they try to capture the solar energy and then transfer the energy to perform the different steps of light reactions. Clear? So the photosystems actually consists of different types of essential pigments that named as chlorophyll, carotenoids, xanthophyll, etc., etc. Okay, and all of this together constitute the photosystems. Okay, so these are all about the structure of chloroplast. Now one more structure is given here, termed as lamellae. Okay, what is lamellae? It is nothing but the connections, or the bridge-like connections which actually joins the different grana. Okay, so it is termed as lamellae. So this is all about the anatomy or the structure of chloroplast. It is very important from your exam point of view. So please study it in details. The next topic is the functions of chloroplast. So the main or the most important function of chloroplast, already we have said that it is used to synthesize food, that is glucose, by the process of photosynthesis. Okay, that means the most important function of chloroplast is that it helps in the process of photosynthesis, and by this process the green plants are able to prepare their own food. Okay, and this is only performed with the help of chloroplast. The next is the chloroplast absorbs the light energy, that is the solar energy, okay, and it converts it into chemical energy. That is, by the process of photosynthesis, what actually happens is the light energy is converted into chemical energy, that is food or glucose, okay, and it is also performed by chloroplast. The next is chloroplast has a green pigment called chlorophyll. We all know, right? We have studied about it, which functions by trapping the solar energy and used for the synthesis of food in all green plants. That means the chloroplast consists of a very essential green colored pigment which actually helps to capture the sunlight or the solar energy, and this green pigment is termed as chlorophyll, and it is present within the chloroplast. Okay, so it is also a very important function or significance of chloroplast. Next is it also helps in the production of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. What is ATP? It is nothing but the form in which the energy is stored within our body. Clear? And so it is also termed as the energy currency of our cell. That means the chloroplast also helps in the production of ATP by the process of photosynthesis. Okay. The next is the carbon dioxide obtained from the atmospheric air is used to generate sugar and carbon during the dark reaction of the photosynthesis. Already we have I have like discussed that the process of photosynthesis consists of two parts, light reactions and dark reactions, right? So in the dark reaction of photosynthesis, what actually happens is the carbon dioxide is fixed, okay, and it is used to generate carbon and sugar, that is glucose. And which organelle performs this functions, or where it is actually performed? The dark reaction is performed in the stroma of the chloroplast. So it is also an important function of chloroplast. So all of these are very important functions. So please try to keep all of this in mind. Clear? So let's move to the next topic, the next type of important cellular structures, okay, termed as cytoskeleton. That is the framework or the network of our cell. Like, what is skeleton basically? We have a skeleton, right? What is skeleton? It is nothing but a framework or a like which or a substance or a part of our body which actually provides framework or structure or support to our body, right? The exact function is performed by the cytoskeleton within the cell. That is, the skeleton or the structural network or the framework which is present inside the cell is termed as the cytoskeleton. Let's just see how it is defined. A network of filamentous proteinaceous structures present in the cytoplasm is collectively referred to as cytoskeleton. Am I clear? That means within the cell, in the cytoplasm, different types of networks are formed. Okay, and these networks are formed with the help of several proteinaceous filaments or several filaments made up of proteins. So this total network of the different proteins is termed as cytoskeleton. Now, what are these filaments actually made up of? They that is the cytoskeleton actually consists of three types of filaments: microtubules, microfilaments, and intermediate filaments. Okay, so what are these basically? Microtubules are like all of these are the different types of filaments, okay, which forms network. You can see here, see, can you see this blue colored structures? Okay, then you can see this type of filaments. Okay, so all of this are nothing like, here you can see that the blue colored structures are nothing but the microtubules. The these interconnections, can you see these branch like structures? These are the intermediate filaments, and these very small tube like structures are termed as the micro or the thin filaments. Okay, so these are nothing but you can see that they have provided the support to the different types of cell organelles. Like this one is mitochondria, this is the endoplasmic reticulum. So all of the other cell organelles are actually provided or hold together or supported with the help of the cytoskeleton. Clear? So this microtubule is formed with the help of a protein termed as tubulin. The microfilaments is made up of a protein termed as actin, and the intermediate filaments are made up of several types of proteins. So microtubules mainly help to provide shape and structure of the cell. Microfilaments mainly help to transport the different types of like different types of cell organelles within the cell, or it helps the movement of the different types of cell structures within the cell. And the intermediate filaments as a whole, they actually support all other types of filaments like microtubules and microfilaments. That means these two types of filaments are actually supported with the help of the intermediate filaments. These are some branching like network which supports the other types of structures. So this total, these three filaments constitutes the cytoskeleton. Clear? Let's just now have an idea about what are the important functions. Okay, so the cytoskeleton in a cell are involved in many essential functions. One of the most important one is it provides mechanical support to the cell. That is, if the cytoskeleton was not there, then the cell could have been easily broken down or it would have easily collapsed. Okay, that means it provides a mechanical support to the cell. Then it helps in the movement of different types of cell components and structures within the cell. Okay, within the cell, the different types of cell organelles are seen to move from one place to another. Okay, so this is actually done with the help of uh, cytoskeleton. Also, the cytoskeleton helps to maintain the proper shape and structural integrity of the cell. So this is all about the importance of cytoskeleton within the cell. Okay. So I hope you have understood the concept of cytoskeleton. It is nothing but the structural network or the network which provides structure and proper shape and support to the cell. Clear? So this is all about today's lecture. Thank you everyone for listening to my class. We'll come back with the next class soon.